Hi VMM, thanks so much for having us. We are the Techno Squirrels and I'm Lisa.
And I'm Ryan and we're coming to you from San Francisco, California.
Well, actually, we met when we were both studying in Liverpool. We went to a music school there, and we both were doing engineering courses there at a school called Lippa. And Ryan happened to be engineering one of the bands that I was in, called Schulte Eriksson. And since then, we've worked together.
The band that she was in this sort of art rock, avant-garde art rock band. My first impression of Lisa as a musician was, it was like on some other level that I just totally didn't get, or she knew nothing. So it was one or the other, and over the course of the session I realized, oh, it's on some level that I don't get, and I'm starting to get it, and it was really quite something special.
In addition to doing these experimental things, I also did more conventional things, like singing for Lady Troll's first single, He Took Her to a Movie. When you go to a music school like that, you get all these experiences, and it really opens you up to a lot of things.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm a recovering prog rock music fan.
Hi, Ryan.
The enemy of everything that I was into was loop-based music, because it was one idea and it just repeated over and over and over again, and how could that be anything, you know? And that entirely shattered when a friend of mine came up to me and put a pair of headphones on me, and I was listening to the Massive Attack song, their single Mezzanine, which it's not exactly, you know, deep in the house sort of trance, but it is loop-based, and it challenged my entire notion of that loop-based music could be expressive and beautiful and really sort of deep.
For me, I was into Black Sabbath and kind of heavy rock music like that. And I went to Roskilde Music Festival. It's one of the biggest festivals in Europe. All my friends ended up going to the dance tent. And I didn't understand why they did this, because for me, dance music was commercial music, so I was not interested in that. And then on the last night of the festival, I decided, okay, I'll go along to this dance tent thing. And I went, and I happened to hear Fluke and Underworld, and it completely revolutionized my musical world. I thought it was amazing, and I've never been so wrong, really. And then when I came back home to Stockholm, I immediately bought a Korg MS-10 synthesizer and a Roland TR-606 drum machine. I had this fascination. I was wanting to find out, how do they do this? That spirit of exploring new sounds happens every time that I sit down by the computer.
Coming from a rock music background, one of the things that really struck me about electronic music is there's no real blueprint, there's no rules, there's no right and wrong answer. You literally start with a blank canvas every time. And when you're a rock musician, I mean, as much as you can, you know, you go think outside the box, generally you've got a bass, drums, guitar, keyboards and vocals, and the roles that they have, you know, the drummer predominantly provides the backbeat, the bassist predominantly locks in with the drummer. But dance music and electronic music just doesn't have that idea. I mean, the drums can be glitchy drums that don't ever provide a beat. The bass can be doing the melody, the rhythm can be coming from a cut-up vocal. The rules just don't apply, and I think that's something that became instantly attractive to me about it.
Actually, it's an interesting story about how Love Comes First ended up on Bandit Records. We had so many remixes done when we were releasing it that we ended up having too many remixes. So we just had to cut a couple of them. That's one of the things that's difficult about running your own label, that you have to make these hard decisions sometimes, that you can't just release everything. We ended up cutting the Era and Mbecca remix, unfortunately. As it ended up, they sent that to Vandit, and Vandit heard it, and Paul van Dyk heard it and liked it, which was fantastic for us. And now it all turned out much better.
The song, it's almost gotten a whole second wind. The song was the first single off of our album, which was released last fall, and we had our own promotional schedule and release schedule with it, and we had success. The original single ended up going to #1 on Sirius Satellite Radio here in the US, and got licensed in a couple different places on MTV, etc. And then Ohm picked it up, put it on their compilation, the Ohm Chilled compilation, and we thought, oh, that's great. It's got its own, sort of got a little uptick again in sort of getting out there and getting out to new people. And then this came along, and there's a whole nother sort of dimension to the song. This, it's now on Paul van Dyk's new album. It's, being played, all around the world. When Paul van Dyk came through to San Francisco, we got to hear our own song in the club.
That's actually a funny story. We didn't actually get to hear it in the club.
One of us did.
One of us did. Well, basically, we were very excited to hear Paul van Dyk coming into town, so we were like, let's go see him, of course. So we were there, all the 4 hours, the whole night. We totally loved it. And one time during those 4 hours, I went to the bathroom. And, the girls' bathroom, it's always this huge long line. And of course I got stuck in the line. And then finally me and my girlfriend met Ryan again. And he said, did you hear it? And I'm no. So I missed the song. But I'm so glad he played it, so. When we first heard the Styrofoam Kid remix, we completely loved it straight away. And about a month later, we found online, we got an email from someone saying, hey, check this video out. And so some kid had filmed when Paul van Dyk spun it in Berlin in the club.
But what's funny about it is that there's like strobe lights going off. And if you freeze frame one of the strobes, there's a couple that's hooking up right sort of in the forefront of the shot. You start adding so much of your own interpretation to that kiss. Oh, it's the first time they hooked up, and they're always going to remember our song, and all these things. But and maybe our song brought them together.
Or maybe in a couple of weeks they'll realize that they both are not into golf.
The way we work in Techno Squirrels is sort of like almost a ping pong, a musical ping pong. We're both producers, so we both will have different ideas cooking up in different sessions that we'll be working on. And once I've sort of creatively run my course with an idea or gotten it to a point where I'm ready to show it to Lisa, I'll send her the file.
So I'll usually start my session then there. And then once I've worked on it for a little while, I'll send it to Ryan, and then he'll take over from there. And then after whatever time, he'll send it back to me.
The advent of the modern era of recording, that you can actually, as an email attachment, send someone an idea, a whole recording session attached to an email, is just crazy. When I got started, I was an engineer, and I used to run a studio in Philadelphia. And the thought of trying to work up an idea on a 2-inch 24-track analog machine, and then FedEx the reels to somebody else, who then calibrates their machine so it sounds the same, and then adds their part, and then it wouldn't work. So the thought that now we can sort of, here's like a thumb drive with my album's worth of ideas on it. It's cool. Right now we're actually sequestered in the studio here, working on the next album. We've got probably about half of it underway right now, and things are going well. A lot of new directions we're trying. Being both guitarists ourselves originally, we sort of dug out and dusted off the guitars on this one and thought, okay, let's write some old school riffs, transfer them to synthesizers, run them through our distortion pedals, and see what comes of it.
You can visit us online at www.technosquirrels.com and also on myspace.com/technosquirrels.